morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, EOS, Ethereum and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the daily support, resistance and pivot levels. It is Tuesday the 11th of August. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar and the hourly candlestick. Slightly bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Bitcoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 11,800 to support a breakthrough to 12,000 and a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 12,155. Going to need to see support from the broader market, however, for Bitcoin to break out from yesterday's high that was at 12,065. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect resistance at 12,000 to pin back any upward momentum. In the event of a breakout, should see Bitcoin break through that first major resistance level and then target the second major resistance level sitting at 12,417. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 11,540 into play. Barring an extended sell-off, however, we should see Bitcoin avoid sub 11,500 levels. Second major support level sits way back at 11,187. Looking at the MACDs, seeing a slight narrowing of the bearish histograms, so need to see Bitcoin recover from that early loss. The EMAs, 50s widening slightly against the 100 and 200, supportive of a possible breakout on the day. So avoiding the pivot and a move back through to 12,000s should support a run through that first major resistance level. Moving across to EOS against the US dollar, it's a slightly bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see EOS avoid the pivot at 3.1778 to support a run at this first major resistance level, saying at 3.3565. Going to need to see a broad-based crypto rally, however, for EOS to break out from yesterday's high that was at 3.2966. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect resistance at 3.3 to pin EOS back. In the event of another breakout, got the second major resistance level sitting at 3.4752 that would come into play. Pull back through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 3.0591 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, should see EOS avoid sub 3s and the second major support level sitting at 3.8804. Looking at the MACDs, seeing a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms, so looking at that pivot level through the morning will be key. The EMA, however, seeing the 50 widen against the 100 and the 200. So avoiding the pivot and a move through 3.3s would support a breakout on the day. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, slightly bearish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fall through the pivot at 393.81 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 402.18. Support from the broader market going to be needed to break out from yesterday's high that was at 400.21. Plenty of resistance at 400 at the moment, pinning Ethereum back. In the event of an extended rally, could see Ethereum target the second major resistance level at 408.58 before any pullback. A fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 387.41 into play. Should see Ethereum avoid sub 380s and the second major support level sitting at 379.04. Looking at the MACDs, we've got a widening of the bearish histogram suggestive of a bearish morning ahead, and we're seeing the 50 narrow marginally against the 100 and the 200. So avoiding a fall through the pivot to sub 390s will be key through the morning to support a run at 400s. Moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, it's a positive start to the morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid the pivot at 29.31 to support a run at the first major resistance level sitting at 30.22. Going to need to see an extended rally, however, for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high at 3.0053 with plenty of resistance at 0.3. In the event of a breakout, got the second major resistance level at 0.3096 and resistance at 31 to pin back any breakout. Fall through the pivot, bring the first major support level at 28.57 into play. barring an extended sell-off, should see Ripple's XRP avoid sub 28. Second major support level sits at 27.66. Looking at the MACDs, we're seeing a narrowing of the bearish histograms and a possible bullish crossover. And looking at the 50 EMA against the 100, we're seeing that narrow and a widening against the 200, supportive of a possible breakout on the day. So avoiding a fall through that pivot to sub 29 will be key to support another run at 30s and that first major resistance level.